What's up? It's your boy Big B, and this is Wrestling Forever. This will be the All Elite New Year's Smash Night 2 review, and let's get into it. Uh, Started off good tonight. They started off with Eddie Kingston against Pac. Of course, Eddie Kingston came out with his boys, the Blade, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. And of course, Pat came out with his boy with the Lucha Bros. Um, it was a good intense match. Pac even came out and started the match even before the bell rang with a quick ass drop kick and led. And practically the whole match was a serious. It was an intense battle. I mean, went back and forth a lot. Pac ended up winning the match. But the thing was, I think the match kind of ended a little bit earlier than what it was supposed to. Um, a lot of the times, the first match of the night usually ends around the 20-minute mark. It kind of ended around 17 minutes. Because I think Eddie Kingston suffered an injury or something, or he had a bad arm injury or something. Because it seemed like it was supposed to be a little bit more to that match than what it was, but they ended it a little bit sooner than what it was supposed to be. But all at the end of the day, it was still a great match. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a good way to start off the night. And yeah, Pac finally got that good victory over Eddie Kingston after many weeks of trying to get his hands on that son bitch. But anyway, yeah, he got the victory tonight, which was good. It looked good. It was good enough to the point where you'd be like, all right, let's see what we got going on for the rest of the damn evening. So there we go. There's also then later on, then the following match came out right afterwards, which was Chuck Taylor versus Miro. I mean, it was not like we didn't really know how this match was going to turn out. Of course, they had it with Chuck Taylor. Um, well, my bad. Let me just say it like this: Chuck Taylor came out with Orange Cassidy, and Miro came out with Penelope and Kip. But like I said, we all know how that was going to happen. I mean, come on. I mean, they're not going to let Miro lose right now. Even though, of course, I really think that his run in AEW is not really is nowhere near even as good, or it's just as lackadaisical as it was for him in his last couple of years as Rusev and WWE. They're not really pushing him like they really should be. I think his storyline could have been a lot better than what they're making it, but all in all, still he wasn't losing this match, and we already kind of knew that Chuck Taylor's going to be becoming his young boy, or how a butler for a month. So it was a month. Last time we were talking about this, and we were talking about the advertising about what was going to happen in night one for night two. I said I couldn't remember if it was a week or a month. It was a month. So now he's going to be Miro's young boy or butler for a month, leading on from out this week. It's going to be a very torturous 4 weeks for that boy. But all in all, I think it's just some way just to stall time, just until Trent gets back on his feet. But anyway, but that's still going to be a while, so I don't know. But yeah, all in all, Chuck Taylor went all in. Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just not one of those damn spiffity days. It's crazy, but I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get as much enthusiasm. I know I was kind of lacking it. People probably like, man, what the hell? This guy don't even seem like he's in. But I was. But Chuck Taylor practically dominated most of the match because practically, they had to make it like he was doing a good effort so that. But Miro stayed strong, and then of course, like always, when a big guy is facing a small guy, and they both got good reputations right now in the storyline to where they're both serious. They let the small guy get more of the upper hand throughout most of the match, and the stronger guy weathers it out, and then finally he snaps. And of course, as soon as Miro finally got the upper hand, there was no going back, and then he just straight up whooped Chuck Taylor's ass. It was a major ass whooping, made him submit. Chuck Taylor's fucking a butler now for a month. Next 4 weeks of hell. Um, then we got a little short little segment backstage with Matt Hardy and Private Party, where they weren't really all into the 30% thing and everything else, and Matt Hardy putting the blame on them, saying that was y'all fault. Y'all should have looked at the contract, even though I don't understand why they had to look at the contract when literally it made no sense for that part, because he literally said 30% before they even signed the contract. He said, I want 30%. And they were like, all right. He goes, trust me, it's going to be okay. So now I don't understand why they didn't see it in the damn contract, but whatever. Anyway, of course, this is probably starting towards Matt Hardy becoming a heel manager. I don't know if they're going to have what Private Party eventually just subsides with it and just agrees with it and decides, okay, you know what, I'm going to, we're just going to side with Matt and become a heel tag team, or it's going to lead to them becoming a bigger baby face, and then somehow, some way, Matt Hardy transitions to another tag team that wants it more or something like that. But obviously, Matt Hardy takes major disdain towards the moment when he got injured, and he realized to him, people didn't care about his injury and everything else like that. So he was like, all right. So now Matt Hardy is becoming a heel manager, which is all right. I mean, he definitely be helpful. Then of course we got Inner Circle's New Year's resolution segment in the ring, and literally, all in all, it just led towards them. Chris Jericho now all of a sudden wants to become tag team champions with MJF. And then Sammy Guevara called him a tag team slut. Because he goes, 1 minute you're tag teams with Jake Hager, now you want to be tag team champions with, first you wanted to be tag team champions with Jake Hager, now you want to be tag team champions with MJF, but you originally were tag team with me, we're supposed to be the sex gods. He's like, he goes, and it's like, literally, I think you just don't know what you want right now. It's like, and then of course Santana and Ortiz, mainly Santana, came on to the mic and started telling them, like, you handpicked I and Ortiz to be the tag team of this faction, but yet now you want to take it. He goes, it should be us. And then of course, so literally it ended up becoming a triple threat, because Jericho and MJF want to become tag team champions. Santana Ortiz want to become tag team champions. And of course, Sammy decided to join up with Jake Hager, and now they want to become tag team champions. So literally, we're going to have next week, we're going to have a triple threat tag team match between all members of Inner Circle, except, of course, Wardlow, who will be on the outside. And whoever wins out of that match between MJF and Jericho, Hager and Sammy, and Santana Ortiz, whoever wins out of that match becomes the official tag team of the Inner Circle, which means they're the only ones that will be allowed to go for the tag titles. Now, all in all, I would totally want Santana Ortiz to win, because, I mean, they are the true tag team of the group, but something tells me that it might be Jericho and MJF that wins somehow, some way. I don't know. It makes no sense, because, I mean, I literally, it's like, come on, it's like, just let fucking hit Santana Ortiz just go for the tag titles, what they were there for in the get-go. And then after that, then we had a little backstage segment with the Dark Order and Adam Page. And obviously, literally, it's just leading towards now. The main question is, will Adam Page join the Dark Order? Will Adam Page join the Dark Order next week after their tag match? Or will he not? That's mainly the question you got out of that one. And then we went to the third match of the night, which was supposed to be the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, going up against the Varsity Blondes, and I think it's Danny Limelight. I think it is. I think it's Danny Limelight. It's either Danny Limelight or Jimmy Limelight. I can't remember. Jim Rob was talking about something about Jimmy, and somebody else said something about Danny. I don't really know, but I'm going to say Varsity Blondes and Limelight. Then we came out to find out, because Don Callis, when they first came up, Kenny Omega was like, oh, we want to go out as the Elite. We're going to the Elite. And then Don Cal was like, no, let them come out by themselves. I like their music and every blah, blah, blah. And then Kenny Omega came out with Don Callis. And then Don Callis decided to announce the Young Bucks. Well, that's what we thought he was going to announce. Then he ended up announcing the Good Brothers, which was highly iconic, funny and stuff. And so the Young Bucks ended up staying in the back, just fucking snickering at it like, why am I shocked about this situation? And we ended up getting the Bullet Club version instead of the Elite. We got the Bullet Club of Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers going up against the Varsity Blondes and Limelight, which of course ended off with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers winning. And then Don Callis announcing him as the new Elite. So that was kind of funny. And then after they won their match, then Moxley came out. Then Moxley came in there and fought all three of them. It didn't go all the way to his plan. He started getting overmatched. And then the Lucha Bros came in because they had a receipt to give back to the Good Brothers and them for them attacking them last week. During Phoenix and during the conclusion of Phoenix and Omega's match last week. And so they got some of that. They got some of the Good Brothers' ass that night. And all in all, then they all teamed up and the Young Bucks came in trying to stop Jon Moxley after he was about to get his hands on Omega. And they were just trying to stop him to cool him down and everything else. And the Lucha Bros decided this will be the opportunity for them to get a little piece of the Young Bucks. Let them know they're going for the title, so they stupid kicked the holy hell out of the Young Bucks. Then he went back to them all fighting again. Then Omega ran out of the building, and it just literally all in all just ended off with a bunch of conflict. And then everybody scurrying off except for the Lucha Bros and Moxley inside the ring. So there's definitely unfinished business still going on between all these guys. It's very intriguing. Would this lead to Young Bucks eventually joining with Kenny Omega now in the situation? Or will they just stay baby faces? I don't know. Then we went to the waiting room. And in the waiting room, it was, of course, your host, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And she did a bunch of jokes on Cody Rhodes and everything else like that. Literally, Shaq's wife. I'm just gonna say Shaq's wife. I keep forgetting what her name is. I forgot to write it down when I was watching the clip, the scene. I'm sorry. Just give me her name down in the comment. I'm still trying to remember her damn name. But all I know is that she came out as a special. And I literally just did a cliche WWE promo thing on the talk show where they have one guest and then they have a secret guest that comes in that wasn't part of the plan. She's still talking trash about Brandy Rhodes, and her and Shaq are sick and tired of waiting, and blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, Red Velvet came out, then they had a fight, and then it ended off with us finding out that Britt Baker is going to end up fighting Thunder Rosa at Beach Break. I think it was February 3rd, and, of course, Britt Baker was funny throughout the whole time. That's what makes her so fun to watch, because she knows how to properly do a good promo in a funny way. You can definitely tell she's Adam Cole's wife. You can definitely tell that's how they probably link, and they both this magic on the mic. So I am very enjoying. I can't wait for Beach Break. It sounds like it's going to be a good match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Definitely something worth waiting to see. Then we went to match 5, which was Jurassic Express, of course. Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy. They had some new music, and they were going against FTR. It was a better match than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I thought it was just going to be a little quick match and everything, and then after a while they're going to make FTR look strong, win, call it quits. But actually, literally, it went a great lengthy match, and I was pretty damn impressed. It was damn good. That was one of my favorite matches of the night. Honestly, that was one of my favorite matches of the night. It was damn good. And then, of course, FTR won by pinning Marco Stunt. But at the end of the day, it was good. They still made Jurassic Express still look good as hell because they had it with Tully Blanchard got involved in the match, and then that's what led to Jungle Boy getting attacked, thrown into the barricade, and then then they took Marco Wynn and finished it off. But at the same time, it was still good. It was still good, and I gotta give him his props. I actually really enjoyed that match. Yeah, and they went to match 6, which was the NWA Women's Championship between Serena Deeb, who is the current champion, and Ty Conti. And all in all, Ty Conti showed why that she's a very good, talented woman, but I still say that she still got a little bit more tweaking to do in her in her moveset, and a little bit more tweaking in her character development before she truly gets considered a major player in the game. But at the same time, it's not too much. It's not too much. And she did a great job. Definitely Serena Deeb was going to retain. I mean, come on. I mean, that's Serena Deeb. I mean, that's one of the best out there right now. And that was definitely a great match. It was a good match showing that Ty Conti definitely, with a little bit more molding, is definitely going to be a big star. She keeps up the good work. So, all in all, yes, that was great. Enjoyed it. It was... I mean, one thing I did like about tonight, that there was no damn roll-up pins tonight. It was a bunch of solid pinfalls, victories, or submissions, and I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that. And then, of course, we went to the main event, which was, of course, the AEW TNT Championship Match, which was Darby Allin defending his title against the Machine Brian Cage. And definitely, of course, it went the way that I thought, that Brian Cage was going to dominate most of the match. I mean, why the hell wouldn't he? That fucking powerhouse of an athlete going up against a 170-pound man. I mean, it makes sense. But, of course, Darby shows you just how durable he is and how much pain he can actually withstand for a small body like himself, having pretty badass, especially, and let me just say this out of the way, that Tony Khan, for some weird reason, decided that only 2 people out of Taz's group could come down to the ring and assist. Like, what the hell is the point between 2 people or 3 people being on the ringside? It's still literally major distractions in the match. That makes no sense why you could have Powerhouse Hobbs out there. I mean, come on. Even with Powerhouse Hobbs being out there, it still would have been the same situation. If you really wanted to be a fair match, you should have just had it where the other ones just weren't in the match at all. Instead, you have it. I don't know what the hell that was. That was stupid as hell to me. Tad, of course, was at commentator's table. And at the same time, I don't know what the hell that was. To me, that was stupid as hell. What's the point of having only 1 in the back and 2 stay out in the ring when literally either just have none of them out in the ring or have all of them in the ring? It makes no sense. But all in all, there was even this one part where Brian Cage freaking hoisted, or how they would call it, gorilla pressed, Darby up in the air, and then he just tossed his ass out the ring like he was one of those beach balls and threw him about 10 feet, 12 feet down into a damn either 1 or 2 tables out there, which then led to Darby getting his head busted open. And then all in all, it was there was another part that he went out there and he picked Darby up, then he freaking put him up into a suplex stance. And then he freaking walked up the damn steps and then threw Darby back into the ring. He just showing off his power in the match. A damn mutant. He even powerbombed Darby Allin out of the ring onto the damn ramp like stage thing that they got up there. He powerbombed him on that. He did like 3 consecutive power bombs inside the ring. Of course, mostly every single time he thought he had the better of Darby, Darby would just flip his ass off, tell him like, "Bitch, what else you got?" It was intriguing. I enjoyed it. Then of course, when Ricky Starks got involved in the match, Sting came out, Sting attacked Ricky Starks. Just a little bit before that, the reason how Darby started to get one-upsmanship on Brian Cage was because Brian Cage decided he got frustrated to the point that he pulled the steps all the way to the middle of the ring outside by the apron, and then he was going to slam Darby onto the steel steps, but instead Darby turned it on him. He almost fell off onto the steps, and then he was holding on by the rope, and then Darby bit his hand, and he fell off, and then Darby did the coffin drop onto his chest while he was on the steps, and that's what kind of led to the changing of the pace of the match. But all in all, then Brian Cage tried to finish it off by doing something off the top rope. Darby reversed it into a crucifix bomb, into a pin, and that's how Brian Cage lost the match. And then, of course, Taz and the rest of his crew, Powerhouse Hobbs, came out to check on Ricky Starks, and they all just stood out there on the stage along with Hook, and they were just looking at it as Sting and Darby Allin were in the ring. Still teasing the Sting, Darby Allin thing. We still don't know what the hell is really going on with the two, but I hopefully by at least next week or within the next 2 weeks, we'll finally find out what that is. But all in all, I really enjoyed this one a little bit more than last week. I don't know what it was about last week. It just felt like last week just seemed like it didn't have as much outside of the Kenny Omega and Phoenix match that was totally kick-ass that I definitely enjoyed, and the Jon Moxley interview and all that stuff from last week. Outside of that, felt like a lot of the matches were just, they were missing some fire that you usually get from them on a week. I don't know, it just didn't seem, the matches didn't seem as exciting as they should have felt. But all in all, they were still good. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that the show wasn't great last week. I'm just saying that it didn't have a whole lot of fire to me. Usually when I watch AEW, I'm giddy as hell, and no matter what match comes on, even though I think they still do a shitload of high flying out there. But at the same time, they usually got that fire, oh yeah, it's intense, but it just didn't seem like some of those matches had that intensity brought with it like it was supposed to. But outside the Kenny and Phoenix match, that shit was fire as hell. That's probably the best match of the year right now, period, of all the brands. But, yes, but this week, outside of the Miro and Chuck Taylor thing, I don't really care about that. I really don't. I don't care. That one wasn't really all that worth. But all the rest of it, oh yeah, even down to the Britt Baker's waiting room, all that to me was fun. That was good. I think the Eddie Kingston match, the Kingston and Pac match, ended a little too fast due to maybe I think there was an injury scare or something, and they just didn't want to take any major risk, and they just had it where the match ended a little fast. It seemed like it was sped up a little bit faster than what the pace was going to finish it off because Eddie was having a hard time moving his arm. So hopefully there ain't no major thing. Hopefully it was just like a stinger or something. I don't know. Hopefully nothing major happened. And all in all, solid show. Solid show. Was the main event match this week better than Kenny Omega and Phoenix? Hell no. When you put Phoenix and Omega in a match, ain't nobody topping that shit. I don't give a damn who the hell it is. But all in all, outside of that, yeah. It was still a great match. It was definitely a great match to the point of a major powerhouse that has 102 pounds more weight on the scale than the damn champion, who's only a solid 170, and this guy's 272. That makes perfect sense of why the hell it was a dominant match. That's how it should be. But still, all in all, it still didn't top last week's main event. But all in all, it was still a great show. Can't wait till next week. All in all, definitely a thumbs up. Last week, I gave that one more of a, what was it, like a 4-star, 4.5? But I gave the Omega match a 5-star, without a doubt. But this week, I'm probably going to give it just, I'll give it like a 4-star. It was 4. It was solid. It was good. It wasn't the greatest episode of AEW, but definitely was something worth watching. So definitely watch it if you haven't. Because trust me, you know I'm telling you what happened. Trust to believe a lot of the matches you'll enjoy. It'll be worth the while no matter what. You might know the outcome, but trust to believe it was a great night. Definitely can't wait the next week. So all in all, just leave your comments down below on what you thought was the best match of the night, what you thought could have been better. Did you think that this week was a little bit better in the intensity bringing and the energy than it was last week throughout most of the show? I would just like to get your comments on everything. As always, if you like this show, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, join the family, baby. Hit the bell for future notifications of videos like this. And as always, wrestling's forever. Be safe. And one love.